Welcome. How is everybody? Good. My name is Nancy Miller. I'm one of the partners here. My job is to let you guys know a few housekeeping rules, things where to be, what to do, and then I'm going to turn it over to the other folks and let them do their part. First thing I want to ask you all to do, it's not necessarily for anything having to do with COVID, but try to keep your folks 6 feet apart. It's for the dogs as much as anything else. As you are here in the building working for obedience or agility or whatever the case may be, we want your dogs concentrating on you and not Fluffy that's next to you. So keep your distance. Keep your dogs focused on you. It tends to give you a little bit more of a large and in charge kind of situation, and it keeps them from locking eyes on and possibly saying words to each other that we don't understand that could cause silly issues. So everybody stay 6 feet apart. Focus on your dog, keeping your dog's attention on you. Okay. We do run 29 classes each session. That's usually 3 to 4 classes a night in 3 different sections of this building. We make sure that we've got one group up here, at least one group. We've got a middle group and behind the white fence. Part of my job is to tell you which class goes where. Behind the white fence, we have Puppies, Head Start, Puppies Plus, Really Reliable Recall, Introduction to Nose Work, Do More with Your Dog, Nose Work Challenges, and Agility Fundamentals. That's behind the white fence. In front of the white fence is just about everything else. Canine Good Citizen, Rally, Agility, Star Puppy, anything else, Basic Obedience, all of those. The arena up front is divided into 2 sections or 3, depending on whether we've got obedience and nose work. Obedience is usually here, nose work is over the corner. Then we've got Manners Matter and Canine Good Citizen in the middle part on at 6:15. On pardon me, on Thursday we have Rally in the middle part, which is a whole nother set of craziness, but we try to keep everybody corralled into an area so that you still can have room to work, but you're not running all over each other. 7:30, Puppies Plus on Monday and Thursday, Really Reliable Recall, and, well, that's it, Puppies Plus, Monday and Thursday, Really Reliable Recall on Wednesday. At 7:30, we're going to ask you to come in the back door. Now that door used to be red, but it's now gray. You can park towards the back of the parking lot, come across the pad in that back door. It'll give you complete access to the back part of the arena where you don't have to watch whatever else is going on up here. Okay. 6:15, of course, everybody is coming in through this side door. We will have everything kind of gated off so we can put the ones that are going behind the white fence. You'll have a little channel to get you back there without interfering with everybody else. Okay? 7:30 students, what she's asking is to wait in kind of outside until about 7:20 to give the 6:15 people time to get out so we're not meeting, coming and going in those small little doors inside, outside. Okay? As far as your comfort, it is going to be hot, very, very hot. Unfortunately, this is not a climate-controlled arena. It's as cool as it can be, considering it's, 95 degrees outside, and there is no air conditioning. 3 roofs on here helps us keep it just a little bit cool, and the fans will usually be going. So it's going to be not as comfortable as we would like it, but dress accordingly. Soda machine, help yourself. If you're coming from work, you'll probably be thirsty. There's usually water, Cokes, and various things in that machine, Gatorade. Do help yourself. Restrooms, gray door, down the hall. Right, but before you get to the restrooms, though, there is a water fountain that does have good, clean, clear, fresh water, cold water. Next thing is, this is a working daycare. We have a lot of dogs in and out of here all the time. We would ask you to help us keep this as clean as possible by picking up after your own dog. We have a poop station in the side yard, bags, a place to put it when you pick it up. Inside, we have poop stations. They're white buckets with paper towels and spray on it. Your instructor will be happy to hold your dog while you make sure that you get everything up. As I said, we want to keep this as clean as we can, given that there's usually somewhere between 150 and who knows how many in and out of here all the time. I hope you understand how it needs to be clean. As far as we are concerned, you're coming from work, like I said, you're going to be maybe grabbing something to eat on the way. Before you come in or as you come in the side door, please put your trash in the trash receptacles. I don't want a puppy or anything, a boxer, a lab, they'll pick up anything. I don't want them to get a hold of something that may make them sick and have to cause a trip to an emergency vet or your vet because we didn't keep things up and out. Okay? This is a non-smoking facility that does include vaping, so nothing inside the building at all. No vaping, no cigarettes. There's a receptacle for the cigarettes just outside the door, so avail yourself of getting rid of those things for us, please. As far as the classes go, in the puppy class, in the Head Start class, I want everybody to participate. You can bring the kids, the family. The more puppies are exposed to different sizes, shapes, kinds of folks, the better off they're going to be. Puppy socialization takes a lot of work for us. And the more we do early on, the less we have to do down the road. So if you're in that class, feel free to pet the puppies. But for the young people particularly, don't get in the floor with the puppies. Stand up, keep your seat, pet them, but pet them with their feet on the ground. We don't want to encourage bad behavior. And in my opinion, jumping puppies is probably one of the worst things that there is, and it's the hardest thing to stop because our tendency is, oh, look at you, aren't you cute? No, you're cuter on the floor. We'll pet you as much as you want to be petted as long as all four of those feet are on the floor. So help us do that. Help us help you to make those puppies really, really good puppies. Young folks need to be supervised. So if the family comes, please make sure you've got somebody to help kind of keep an eye on what's going on, especially with the younger children. I don't want anybody to have a bad experience because we weren't doing our jobs and watching what's going on. A lot of dogs in and out of here, and some may not be as young people friendly as we would hope them to be. So we don't want to set the puppy or the young person up to have a bad experience. So kind of keep an eye on everybody. That being said, if I am teaching Head Start and young people are in the floor, they're subject to my squirt bottle. I want them back up sitting in the chairs. Anybody have any questions? Cool. Y'all are making it easy on me this time. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Tamara. Tamara's going to talk to you about what to bring, what to do, how to reward, and a few things that you're going to know just to get you started in class. One of my babies.
Oh, no. Hi, so I am Tamara. I teach Puppies Plus and the Nose Work 1 and 2. I will occasionally also help out in Head Start or teach Head Start. I think I am this session on Thursdays. But I bebop around this building a lot through the week. Excuse me. So I want to talk a little bit about what to bring and what not to bring when you come to class. First of all, when you come to class, there are going to be so many distractions. There are going to be other puppies, other dogs, other people, things, sounds, sights. It's going to be crazy. We're going to say that about 5 or 6 times tonight. And also, just for a quick reminder for those of you online, if you have any questions at all, absolutely feel free to leave them in the comments, and we will get back to you either via the talking or someone will answer your message at a later time tonight. Excuse me 1 second. I didn't want to cough in everybody's ear. So, the first night of class is going to be absolutely crazy. Please bring a lot of treats. Bring high-value treats. We see a lot of people bringing milk bones. That is a great at-home treat. That is a great at-home snack. However, when you're competing against all the other distractions, a lot of times milk bones just won't cut it. I suggest something kind of chewy, something soft, something really smelly. And I will even bring a little bit of string cheese or a chopped up hot dog to bring out at the last little bit of class when everybody's attention span is just at wit's end. It's a nice, easy thing to kind of pull out to have to get you through the last 15 minutes. Excuse me. I'm so sorry about that. Allergies are killing me this season. So anyways, bring treats. Bring lots of treats. If you think you have brought enough treats, I promise you, you have not. Bring more. We use a lot of treats in our training. If your dog is not super food motivated, bring their favorite toy with the exception of a tennis ball. If everybody brought a tennis ball, they would be rolling around the room and it would be absolute chaos. So bring a non-ball toy if you have a dog that doesn't super love food. Or if you have a dog with a sensitive stomach, I suggest using a little bit of their dinner for treats, so that way you're not putting in all that richness. If you have some of their kibble, you can bring and let them use some of their kibble for their treats during class. Second thing to bring is whatever equipment you are currently working on. People tend to get so fixated on, I want my dog to be perfect that first night of class, so I'm going to go out and get all this fancy equipment, and you only use it while you're at class. That isn't letting the instructor really see what's happening with your dog, so we don't really know how to best help you. So use whatever equipment you currently have, with the exception of two things. One is a chain leash, the leash that has the little clip, the big metal chains, and then the cloth handle. That is a safety risk for your instructor. If something was to happen and they were supposed to take the leash very quickly, that can pinch our hands, that can hurt our hands, that can hurt the dog. So we ask that you do not use the chain leashes. The second piece of equipment we ask you do not use is the retractable leashes or the flexi leashes. Again, that is a safety risk for the instructors and the other dogs. If something was to happen, you were to accidentally let go, that comes flying at your dog in the middle of class, and now your dog is running around screaming and really not having a good time. It's also something that could accidentally come unlocked, tie up the instructor and trip them, or worse, give them a really nasty rope burn on the back of the heel. So please do not bring a retractable or chain leash. Collars are fine, harnesses are fine, gentle leads, anything like that, absolutely perfect. Bring whatever you are currently using. The only thing we ask you do not bring is a retractable leash or a chain leash. When I am selecting a leash for class, I tend to favor the 4-foot leashes. It just keeps my dog a little closer. It makes them have to pay attention to me a little bit more. I will not go any longer than about 6 feet. 6 feet is the longest leash I will bring to class. But personally, for my own preference, I like about a 4-foot leash. It gives me enough room to be able to move around my dog to move around me, and I'm not having to juggle a treat bags, a leash, a dog, all the things all in one hand. So yes, that's a little bit about equipment. The last thing you need to bring with you to class is whatever you are going to keep your treats in, whether that is your pockets, a treat pouch, one of the waitressing packs, whatever is fine. I tend to discourage trying to use it in the actual treat bag, because when I'm trying to open this, if I'm using this treat bag in class, now I'm having to fiddle with it, get it open, and by the time that I actually get it open, get my hand in, the opportunity to reward my dog has kind of passed, so they're not exactly sure what they're getting rewarded for. So whatever you can easily get those treats in and out of, that is what I'm typically going to use. Any questions about what to bring to class or that? Yes?
What about water?
Absolutely. The question was water. Absolutely feel free to bring water. There's some people, they really like to bring their dog's own personal water. That is 100% fine. We typically will have water bowls out for the dogs for communal use. We also have our drink fountain if you want, or our drink machine if you want your own water, and a drink fountain in the hallway. But yeah, absolutely, water is great. Any other questions about that? Awesome. So the next thing I want to talk about is when you leave class, what you do when you get home. What we tend to think of is, okay, we've done an hour training session, so every single day I have to do an hour. That is not true. That is hard to hold ourselves to and hold ourselves accountable for. So instead, what we suggest is doing 5 or 6 5-minute sessions a day. That way you still get that kind of almost hour, 45 minutes to an hour type time frame, but it's not as hard to squeeze into your schedule. When I'm training my own personal dog, I build my training into my everyday life. I'll have them sit and wait while I open the door. I have them sit and wait while I pour their food. I will just do random recalls throughout the day in my house. There are a million different ways you can kind of incorporate it into your life. And if you're not dreading your training session, you're going to be willing to do it, which is going to get you the most for your training time. But yeah, I'll just break it up into about 5-minute sessions a day throughout the day, kind of build it in around my life. You don't have to go home and do a full hour. It's hard to do a full hour of training every single day, even for trainers and us that work here. It's really hard to do that every single day for us. So break it up at home. Don't fret and think, oh, I got to go home and do it. Build it into your life. The next thing is make sure everybody in the house is on the same page with the expectations. If you are wanting the dog not to jump, everybody in the house has to be on board with the dog not jumping for right now. If you're wanting to use the word here for your recall, everyone in the house needs to be using the word here for the recall. Eventually, you can change the rules a little bit, but while they're learning, while they're getting all these skills, we really want everyone to be on the same page, everything to be consistent, and it's going to be the clearest and most helpful for the dog if everybody's consistent, everybody's doing the same thing. What I like to do is make a little training dictionary. I will sit down with everyone I'm working with, and I will say, okay, so what do we want our sit to be? What do we want the criteria for that? What do we want this to mean? What do we want this to mean? That way everyone has the same expectations, everything is clear for the dog, and everyone is using the same word. And last but not least, if there is something that you really don't like the dog doing, like jumping, stop rewarding it. Stop letting the dog kind of jump on us. I know that sounds like a very obviously, yeah, don't reward it. But it is so easy to accidentally reward something, and we're going to talk a lot more about that in class, but just be consistent, be clear, make sure everybody has the same rules, and just have fun with it, because at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, you're not going to do it. All right, any questions? Awesome. I'm going to hand you guys over to Bev. She's another one of the partners here, and she's going to talk about safety.
Woo, woo.
Best stuff ever.
Thank you. No, it's not a treat. It's like, oh, I will eat that. She'll eat anything, honest to God. Okay, hi, my name is Bev. I'm the other partner here. And let's see, my part of this is to talk about safety. The reason for that is that these are group classes, which means we're going to have up to 10 dogs and all of their people in a fairly small space. And it could be anything from a Yorkie to a Mastiff and everything in between. Obviously, a lot of these classes are young dogs. They're excited dogs. They're scared. They're unhappy. I mean, they could be almost anything. When they're coming to class, there's a lot of emotions going on in a lot of these dogs. So we do a couple of things to make sure that everybody stays safe. The first is let me put this over here so that I'm not, she doesn't try to eat that. The first we call the red bandana. So what this is just a red bandana. And this lets everybody in your class know to give this dog some space. It does not mean bad dog. There's no stigma associated with this. But it does remind people not to ride up on your dog. Don't be the guy who goes up to a dog with a red bandana and say, can they play or can they meet? Because that's going to set somebody up for failure. In Cutie Pie's case, she's very specific. She likes some dogs and really, really hates others. So I don't take any chances with her. When we're out and about, I have the when we do a class, I have the red bandana on. And that's a signal to everybody, just to let her be. Let's let her succeed. Yes, you're a very bad dog. So that's a lot of times people will ask about the red bandana. My dog is X, whatever it is. Should I use a red bandana? My answer to that is sure. Why not? You might use it the first couple of weeks and then feel like it's not necessary the rest of the class. But I feel like the more communicating we can do amongst ourselves and taking care of our dogs, being good advocates for our dogs, it's just really important. So yes, wear that red bandana. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. Dollar General often has them. Some of our instructors have extras, but I wouldn't count on that. So that's the red bandana. So we also have a drill that we do in class. Let me tell you, the first night of class is going to be a nightmare. It always is, every session. It's a disaster because all the dogs are super, super excited. They've not been here by and large. They don't know what's going on. They're confused. They're excited. A lot of dogs kind of redirect when all that's going on. So we have a drill that we do just to make sure that everybody knows what to do if a dog gets loose. So if you have a little dog, well, let me just stop it. Take from the beginning. Let's say first night of class, any night of class, your dog gets away from you. Please do not chase your dog. That's a chase you will not win. Just stop where you are and say as loud as you can, oh, thank you, as loud as you can, loose dog. What that will do is let everybody in the building know that they now have a job to do to protect their dog. If you've got a little dog and you hear loose dog, pick up your little dog. She doesn't like to be picked up. Can I get a dog that likes to be picked up? But anyway, pretend that you had a dog that likes to be picked up. Pick her up, clutch her to you, and turn your back to the loose dog. That way, that dog that's bounding around the arena like a crazy dog has nothing to engage with. And she'll just stay here for a little while now. If you have a big dog, like Coach over there, bring your dog into your center and go into Pez dispenser mode. Bam, 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 bam with the treats. You don't actually have to feed him, just let him look at him. Keep his attention, tell him what a good boy he is. Don't let him interact. Again, the goal is to not interact with the loose dog. If your dog is bounding around the arena, your instructor will go and find your dog. And I want to let you know, we will not mace your dog, although we do have this citronella spray. It's called, thank you, it's called Spray Shield. It's designed for people like walking in the neighborhood and maybe a dog comes at you and you just want a perimeter. It's a citronella spray, so it's kind of stinky, it's kind of hissy, it's wet, it sprays out about 12 feet, but I just wanted you guys to see it so you would know what that is. Your instructor will go and get your dog, bring your dog back, and everybody is happy and the class can resume. Good girl. Thank you. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Not a big fan of that. Yeah, I mean, it's not offensive. It's just a smell. So that's what we'll do. Your instructor gets your dog. Everything can do. I did want to say something about getting from the parking lot into the building, though. Make sure to, first of all, extra credit bonus points if your dog rides in a crate. It's the safest way to go. If not, though, make sure to have your dog secured before you let them out into the parking lot. This time of year, spend as little time in the parking lot as possible. It is heat of 1,000 suns out there. So you want to be prepared, have your leash, have your stuff together, have your stuff in your pockets, your backpack, whatever you have, and book it across that parking lot. You can use the grass in the field over there. That's ours. So you can use that before class, or you can come on in, like I said, after 6 o'clock. For the 6:15 classes, the side door will be open. For the 7:30 classes, you want to make it around 7:20 to give the earlier class a chance to get out. But for sure, you want to have your dog secure from the car to here. I always like to remind people to use the D-ring on the dog's collar. Let me show you. The heavy one there, I don't know if you can see it. The heavy one there, not that little springy thing the vet gives you because that'll just come right off. So use the heavy ring on the collar. Make sure the collar is fit right. If you have a terrier or one of those guys who does like this to get out of the collar, I recommend a martingale because that'll tighten up as they go to slip out of that leash. And we've had several dogs saved from the Dayton Boulevard disaster by using martingales, the ones that like to slip out of their leashes. Okay, so just making sure you get your dog safely into the building. Keep your dog with you, by your side while you're in the building. Don't be one of those, hey, let's let them play. You know, we love to watch dogs play. It's what we do here. But class is not the time for that. That's your time to build value for yourself. And if you let your dog go and play with, you know, Larry Labrador over there, how much more interesting do you have to be, you know, than all of that? So keep your dog with you, by your side. Reward them especially. This is a lot, guys. First night of class, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, so many people, so many dogs. They're going to be outwardly focused. Everything you can do to get their focus in on you is going to build value for you. So just remember that. And I know you've got to get in the building, you've got to get settled and meet your instructor and talk English with other people, you know, and all that stuff. But just as much as you can, make that eye contact with your dog. Boom, give them a treat. Good job. And just reward. You get very little opportunities in regular life to have a safe environment with all of this distraction, and reward your dog for paying attention to you despite it. So do that. And that goes back to what Tamara said. I don't feed my dogs before class. I want them on an empty stomach. I want food to have more value than it would before dinner. Did I do that right?
After dinner.
After dinner, thank you. English, second language. So anyway, so I just make sure that you're paying attention to that, and that should be, if nothing else, your goal should be for your dog to be more and more, as the weeks go on, looking to you for direction despite all of this going on. It is a joy, I'll tell you, to see the difference between week 1 and week 6, especially in like Manners Matter and the puppy classes, as these dogs are learning over time and becoming better and better at looking to you for direction, at paying attention to you and getting their rewards from you, not the environment. So do that, do all that, use that. This is a great opportunity just to do that. That being said, let's see. Let me just really quickly, that being said, group classes are not for every dog. If your dog hates it, talk to your instructor. We have other options. We're going to make it right. We're going to make sure that every dog, it's not the same solution for every dog. They're all different. So if you're feeling like this is not working, talk to your instructor, talk to Nancy, talk to me. We will help. That's what we want to do. So just wanted to say that out loud. Couple things. Please turn off your cell phones when you come to class. It's really annoying as your instructor is trying to speak. Speaking of which, this is the hottest session of the year, so I'm sorry for you for that. I'm in 3 classes myself, but we'll get through it. I'm just glad that we don't have to wear masks like we did back in the day. That was bad in August, but we're better than that. We will have fans going. That'll get the air moving. If you can't hear your instructor, don't be shy. Raise up your hand and bellow, I cannot hear you. Every instructor except for Nancy can make herself heard, and Nancy has magnification devices. So either way, we'll be able to make it. But just do be aware, we have more fans than usual for that reason. It's just warm. Safe shoes. This floor, as you may have noticed, is a little grippy. You don't want to wear anything that's going to catch on the floor. Flip-flops are probably a bad idea. Heels, a bad idea. I'm not worried about the floor. I'm just worried about you wearing something comfortable and safe. So just be aware of that. And the same thing with, again, comfortable clothes. This time of year, it's going to get warm. Just be aware. I bring a fan to class. I have one of those little portable Ryobi fans, and I stick it on the side thing, and it works for me. A lot of people bring fans for their dogs. If you have a dog without a nose, a boxer, a Frenchie, something like that, you might want to think about it because they're going to be warm. Ring gates. We use these, we call these ring gates, and we use them to divide up the classes. I will say that if you try to go over them, they will hurt you. So don't do that. Doesn't matter how tall you are, that accordion thing will reach up. We've had 2 broken ankles and a broken wrist so far. So you can move them apart like that if you need to, but there's always a gap so that you can get to your class. We just use those to divide up the classes. So just wanted you to know about that, but definitely don't go over them. She said to every daycare staff employee here. Okay.
And that was not what happened to me.
That was, yeah. Nancy did not try to leap a gate, thank goodness.
I got tangled up in a leash, a dog in a chair.
Yeah, well, hopefully she won't be doing that again. One more note about safety. For all of the agility classes, do more with your dog. Some of the nose work classes, some of the puppy classes, actually, you're going to have equipment out on the floor. Do not put your dog up on the equipment until the instructor has explained to you how to safely use it. Almost all of it can hurt a dog somehow. So you're going to want to make sure that you're not going, oh, look at the A-frame, and Charlie goes up the A-frame and tears an ACL, and you're spending the next week hand walking. So don't do that. All of the equipment is designed for dogs, neither for husbands nor children. So don't let them on the equipment either. That has happened before. The insurance company doesn't like that one. If we need to cancel a class due to weather or, I don't know, an instructor can't make it or whatever, we will let you know 3 ways. We will send you an email, send you a text, and update our Facebook page. Are you happy now? And update our Facebook page. So please do make sure that you've given us a good email that you're going to check, and text number. Or you can always call. The problem with calling is we only have the one line. If we're on the phone, it's going to go straight to voicemail. So just be aware of that. That being said, a lot of times we'll have weather up on signal or lookout, and it's fine down here. Or Saudi, famously, everything goes there. If you feel like it's not safe to come, don't come. You can always make up any sessions any weeks you miss next session. We don't want you to miss out, but we certainly don't want you to taking any chances when it just doesn't make sense to do that. Because, we can fix it. Let's see. I think that's it, safety-wise. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Great. We have a couple of demonstrations for you tonight. These are our dogs. Normally we have a few more dogs, but everybody's on vacation, so you're stuck with Cutie Pie here. But that's okay. But we do have a couple of demonstrations. I know a lot of you just want your arm in the socket and your dog not knocking over Aunt Bertha, and that's a great place to start. But if you have any ideas of going further, maybe doing therapy work, anything like agility or nose work, which is fabulous, all sorts of things you can do with your dogs. It's just a great deal of fun. One of the things that Tamara said made me remember that, the best part of my day is the time I spend working with my dog. And yes, I do this for a living. I do it professionally, so obviously I'm drawn to it. But it's just the idea of that communication, that relationship, and working with it and trying to improve. There's a lot of problem solving that goes on. When I ask my dog to sit and he stands, what have I done wrong? Oh, good job. What have I done wrong? How can I fix that? So be thinking about that as you're working with your dog. Just having fun with it, making it about having a better relationship, having a better time, having your dog fit better in your life. It's really, really important to do that. Bless her heart. Okay, so we have a couple demonstrations for you. I mentioned nose work before, and Cutie Pie is going to show you the first one here. We have all the way up to competition level nose work classes. And we're not training bomb dogs. We're not training drug dogs. We're doing this for fun. So if they mess up, it's just not a big deal. What we teach dogs to find is, well, you can teach your dog to find anything. A lot of people like the whole thing about go find the remote, or, pick up my socks or anything like that. For competition, we teach them to find essential oils. In Cutie Pie's case, because she kind of predated the whole nose work craze that's going on, I taught her to find $20 bills. So what I did was I hid $20 bills in 2 of these pouches. Nancy's going to hide the pouches, and we're not going to look. But Cutie Pie knows that game, doesn't she? But I can distract her very easily because all I have to do is suggest there's a treat in the area, and biting my hand. Good girl. All right. Well, you don't get it for nothing. That's another thing too. We do love giving our dogs treats, but make them work for it. Down. Nice. Good job. Okay. Go find it. So she's going to have to go look and look, and look. She found that one right away. right away. But you saw that she was looking. She was, see, good job. Ooh. And I promise you, there aren't $20 bills in all of those. I'm just not that rich. And plus, it'd be a really bad trick. Ready? Go find it.
Oh my gosh.
All righty then. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yep, that was it. Good job. No, you. Good girl. And always, 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 when your dog does what you ask them to do, big party. It's great fun. You're the best dog ever. Yay for you. And she's like, just give me more, give me more. So, nose work, wonderful. If your vet tells you to keep your, dog quiet for 2 weeks after a neuter or spay, nose work will wear them out. And it doesn't, it's not physically challenging. So actually we have a blind dog and a lame dog. I don't want to say lame, but he's so old that his rear end doesn't work. She has him on one of those little lifter things doing nose work because he loves the game. And he can still do that with a little bit of assistance. So like I said, it's a great thing to do. It's super, super fun. And if you wanted to get started, just hide a treat in a sock and have your dog bring you the sock. Hide yourself behind a door and go, oh my God, yeah, there you go. And you got a treat on the other side of the door. For a lot of dogs, the hunt alone is worth the effort. I mean, it's just fun. Okay, we're going to do a recall? We're going to do recall. Okay. For a lot of people, a really reliable recall is on the top 2 things they want their dog to do. When I say come, you come 100% of the time. And we want you to show you what we want that to look like. So, I want my dog galloping at me when I say come. In her case, she just gave him a signal. Because what if, he couldn't hear because there were 4,000 fans on in the building. So all he had to do was see the signal, and off he comes like a freight train. You shut up. That is not for you. When your dog does get to you, have a party. I don't care how annoyed you are, how frustrated you were that your dog left in the first place. The fact that your dog came back to you should be rewarded 100% of the time. Make that the most valuable thing so it's more likely to happen again. Okay, so that's just an idea about on the recall. In the meantime, if you're like working on your recall or you're in that class and you think about it, there's just 2 things I want to say. 1, do not call your dog unless you're ready to go get him. All right? Because if you're just letting your dog practice not coming to you, now you have to overcome that. And very, very often you'll end up with a poison cue where if you were saying come and 27,000 times he did not come, you're going to have to change the word. You're going to have to change the look of that to make it work. So especially if you're just beginning training, don't call your dog unless you're willing to go and get him. Or you're 100% sure he'll come, but I'm never sure about that. So I'm always aware of the fact that I need my dog to come 100% of the time, and if he doesn't, I don't care if he's in a pond, I'm going to go get him. So just be aware of that. And the other thing, like I said too, is have a party every single time. Even if you don't have a whole lot of time, even if you don't have a treat or a toy on you, you can just go, oh, what a good dog, oh, what a good dog. I don't want to scream into this thing. Just yell, high squeaky voice, lots of praise, lots of good and great, yay, what a good job. All that thing. So just let them know what a good dog they are every single time they come, and that is true for that dog's whole life, because you never want that value to go away or even to diminish. Okay, any questions? Okay, I think we're going to do rally maybe? Okay, we might do rally. I apologize in advance. My dog has been in a box all day, and he is going to be wild, so he might not do anything. Oh, I'm going to give Cutie Pie here. Wait, I have to do things. Tell me, what are you doing? This is for you. It is on.
Okay, I'm going to take it over here then, because it'll squeak.
It will squeak. Okay. And then,
Okay, normally it's much more impressive because we have like 4 other dogs, but these are the 2 partners, so you're seeing the pros, VIP showing. No pressure. All right, rally is a competition event where a course is laid out with signs that provide instructions for the handler and the dog to perform as a team, and we don't have enough room to lay out the signs, so I'm just going to call out the signs and they're going to do it. This is your rally warm-up exercise. Are you ready? Forward. Your dog should move at your left side when you move. Halt. Forward. So the dogs are expected to sit when the handler stops moving. About turn. This is a regular turn where the owner and the dog turn to the right. Sit. Down. Sit. Forward. So that really helps isolate the sit position in the dog's mind. Lots of them figure, I was just sitting. Why do you want me to do that again? About you turn. Slightly fancier turn where both the owner and the dog turn to the left. I think Bev's just making it up as she goes. Slow. If you change pace, your dog should match you. Normal. Left about turn. This is the fanciest of all turns where the handler turns left and the dog turns right. Halt. Stand. Walk around. This really proves to stay because just kind of like horses, dogs always want to know what you're doing back there. Forward. Halt. Step in front. Finish right forward. So that teaches a straight front position as well as how to get back into heel position. This one's fun. 360 right. Whee! Keeps moving with the dog in heel position. Halt. Stand. Down. Forward. So the dog should be able to respond correctly to all positional instructions. They shouldn't sit when you say down or stand when you say sit. It helps them think about differentiating instead of just, throwing behaviors at you in hope of treats. Spin left and forward. Whee! It's another way to reinforce heel position, plus the dogs get a kick out of spinning. They love it. Call front. Finish left. Forward. The dogs need to know both a left and right finish. All right, 360 left. Whee! That teaches reinforces rear end awareness. Good boy, Dylan. Break and praise, the best part. So you can see they're both kind of like enthusiastic in their own ways. Coach is a little bitey boy. Little herding dog. Coach is 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he was just a little baby.
He was a baby, man.
And Dylan's 8. He was also just a baby. They're just babies. Okay, are we doing...
Nancy's going to do agility.
Nancy will do agility. And so Bev will MC that. Because she knows what it is.
Okay, thank you. So Dylan is going to do this little agility course we have set up here. That's called a lead out. He's expected to stay until she calls him through the tire, up the dog walk, which is pretty high and narrow, into that tunnel, up the A-frame. He needs to stop with control at the other side. A lot of dogs don't like this here, but Dylan don't care. Around this little serpentine curve, and she's going to send him into the weeds. That was a hard weed entrance, and he nailed it. Good boy. Very nice. So that's what we do. In all fairness, he's like 4-time champion. So there was some training into that.
A little bit.
Unfortunately, like I said, we usually have other dogs here to show you like lower levels where they're screwing up and it's great.
Well, he does screw up.
But it's a lot of fun. We have all these ways to have fun with our dogs, and we do. I mean, it's just what we love to do with our time. So I am very grateful to you guys for being willing to invest your time, your money, and your dogs to make them better dogs, to make you better owners, to have a better experience together. We do not have any classes starting this week. They all start next week.
Say it one more time.
What?
Say it one more time.
We do not have any classes starting this week. They all start next week.
Beautiful.
Check your email for your confirmation email, which has all of the information in it. And if anything changes, of course, just let us know. So thank you very much for coming. You guys have a good week.